friends. It's Bob again, bringing you another reflection on forgiveness and forgiving. We are immersing ourselves and marinating in God's forgiveness and in forgiving others. And as we do, as this truth and as these truths get a hold of us, we become increasingly free. And that is God's plan for you. He wants you to be free. But I think finding the freedom of forgiveness and forgiving is going to be something that we're going to have to work at. And I want to talk just real briefly this morning with you about pressing through to forgive, pressing through into forgiveness. That sometimes it's just really hard. Everything inside of you is going to resist you forgiving because you feel like if you forgive that somehow this is going to let this person off the hook, like the wrong that they did to you is going to be ignored. It is not doing that at all. In fact, it is actually fully acknowledging that what they did was wrong to you, but that you are walking out of your own prison. And I've told this story before, but I want to have this basically on these Devos because I think it so well goes with this. I was speaking at a conference up in New Brunswick, Canada. There's a part of Canada that's east of Maine, substantially north and east of Maine in the United States that most Americans don't even know is there. I was there speaking in a conference, and I was talking about forgiveness and forgiving and the necessity of forgiving. And at the end of the time, as when you're speaking at a big conference, there's just lines of people that are waiting to talk to you afterwards, not because you're great, but because they have questions. Well, there's this woman that's waiting in line, and I could see that she was really agitated, and she was particularly sort of carrying herself very masculinely and very angrily. And I could tell as I'm talking with one person right before her that when she's coming up, I thought, this might not go so well. Well, what ends up happening is she comes up to me and she says through gritted teeth, "You say I have to forgive, but I was so badly sexually abused by my father." And she was in such a place where I thought she was going to haul off and hit me. It wasn't a stretch to think that. She was so mad because it basically sounded like I was saying, well, all you need to do is forgive. And that would basically just let her dad off the hook for all of this wrong that he had done to her. And so she got done sort of venting all this and seething this stuff at me. And she said, "So you're saying that I need to forgive?" And I said, "Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. And I'm so profoundly sorry for what you've gone through. But forgiveness is going to let you out of your own prison, the prison that your reactions to these wrongs, these heinous wrongs that have been doing to you, this is keeping you in your own prison." And I just thought, and she just gritted her teeth and said, "I don't know if I can do that," and then she just stormed off. A year and a half goes by. I was invited back up to speak at another conference there. I spoke on something different, and then afterward there was a line of people coming up, and there's a person standing in line. It's very feminine, in a dress, just kind of radiating just joy, and she walks up to me. She's like, hey Bob, do you know who I am?" And I'm like, "I have no idea." And she's like, "I'm the one who wanted to haul off and hit you last year or a year and a half ago. I'm the one who wanted to take your head off because I had been sexually abused by my dad and I was in the prison of that. And you challenged me to forgive and I resisted you tooth and nail. But finally, it took me a little while, but finally I worked through forgiveness for my dad and my life has just started to change." That it's like all the log jams in my life have been broken. All of the obstacles, it seems like, that have kept me in one particular place, those obstacles don't seem to be there anymore. And I just started to cry. I just looked at her and I thought, oh my gosh, well done. This is such an amazing truth and such an amazing participation that you have done with God in forgiving him and becoming free. I'm so proud of you. This is the kind of thing that awaits us on the other side of forgiving. I know that it doesn't look like it doesn't present like that, but it is the reality of forgiving from the heart. That's why I want to call you to press through to forgive, even and especially for these giant, big things that don't seem like that they will ever resolve. Forgive and see the freedom that God will bring from it. Thanks so much for joining me today. I love you. God bless you.